Hello dear students, now I am going to start or explain about the estimation of the zinc oxide. Okay, so this is the last experiment in your pharmaceutical chemistry 1. So that is the assay or the estimation of the zinc oxide. So in this experiment you have to estimate the how much amount of the zinc oxide is present in the given urine sample or the given sample by the titration method. Okay, so this will be the aim, that is nothing but you have to find out or calculate how much amount of the zinc oxide present in the given sample by the titration method. So here you can't calculate directly with that of the titration, acidic titration, but acidometric titration by the back titration method you have to perform this. Okay, so in this the what and all the apparatus required means, as you know, for the titration the burette, conical flask, volumetric flask and also the pipette are required. Okay, so the chemical reagents required for this is for the standardization of the NaOH. So the sodium hydroxide is required, then oxalic acid is required, then phenolphthalein indicator, zinc oxide and ammonium chloride, methyl orange indicator and also the sulfuric acid. So what are those? The sodium hydroxide, oxalic acid, phenolphthalein, zinc oxide, ammonium chloride, methyl orange indicator, then also sulfuric acid is required for this estimation of the zinc oxide experiment. Okay, so what is the principle of this zinc oxide estimation means, here this zinc oxide is mainly analyzed by the asymmetry back titration method. Okay, so here what will happen, the zinc oxide is insoluble in the water, so that's what will happen, it cannot be titrated directly with the acid. Okay, so why means the zinc oxide is insoluble in water, so that's what you can't be titrate directly with this acid. So it is therefore what you have to do, the decide in the excess of the standard acid and the excess of acid or the back titrated method will be followed. Okay, so ammonium chloride is added during the titration to prevent the what is that, the precipitation of the zinc oxide interfere in the detection of the end point. Okay, so here to avoid the zinc oxide precipitation which will also changes or interfere the direct detection of the end point, so for that sake we will use this ammonium chloride. Next, so what is the procedure for this estimation of the zinc oxide? So here the zinc oxide estimation we will use the ammonium chloride, and not only that, here the main thing in burette we will use the sodium hydroxide, and in conical flask, as you know, the given sample with that sulfuric acid. Okay, so before the estimation, so the for in burette what we have taken 1N NaOH, so for that also we have to check the standardization, is it? So here the standardization nothing but the exact normality of the sodium hydroxide of that sample, that solution we have to check it. So for this thing what you have to do, for the standardization of the 1N NaOH in conical flask you have to take 10 ml of the oxalic acid, to that you have to add the 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, so then you have to titrate with that of 1N NaOH solution, sodium hydroxide solution, till you get the permanent pink color. Okay, so that is nothing but the colorless to pale pink will be the end point in this standardization of 1N NaOH, so 1 normality sodium hydroxide. Okay, so that is nothing but in conical flask oxalic acid 10 ml you have to take, then 2 to 3 drops of the phenolphthalein indicator, then you have to titrate with 1N NaOH, which the solution will be taken in the burette. Okay, so the end point will be colorless to pale pink, so till you get a permanent pink color you have to titrate. Understand? So this is the standardization. So near to 10 ml like that you may get the you may consume that volume consumed ratio for this standardization. Okay, so here the 10 ml of 1N NaOH may be consumed by the 10 ml of the oxalic acid, just similar to that of the other standardization process for the NaOH. Okay, sodium hydroxide. So next point is the estimation. Okay, so after getting the volume consumed in the ml, so you can find out the what is that normality of the exact normality of the NaOH. So in this N1V1 is equal to N2V2 formula you have to use what regularly for the estimation what you did, like that only for this also you have to calculate the N2. Okay, so N2 is equals to N1V1 by V2. So where the N2 and also V2 related to the NaOH, N1V1 related to the oxalic acid. Okay, so normality of the oxalic acid, that is N1, volume of oxalic acid, that is V1. So just similar to that, V2 is nothing but the volume of NaOH, and N2 you have to find out. Okay, so with the help of N2 is equals to N1 V1 by V2 formula, you can find out the N2 of what is that sodium hydroxide. Okay, so next related to the estimation of the zinc oxide. So for this the procedure will be like, you have to transfer the given sample solution into the 100 ml volumetric flask. Okay, so if it is given in the 100 ml volumetric flask means then no issue only. To this you have to dilute this sample up to 100 ml with distilled water. Okay, so make up the volume up to 100 ml of that sample with distilled water. Okay, and from that you have to pipette out 10 ml. Okay, to that you have to pipette out 10 ml and you have to take that in a conical flask. To that you have to add the 10 ml of the sulfuric acid, 1N sulfuric acid. Okay, H2SO4, with the aid of heat. Okay, if necessary you should add 2.5 gram of ammonium chloride. So here you have to add the 2.5 gram of ammonium chloride to avoid the precipitation of this zinc oxide, which will vary the result. Okay, so few drops of the methyl orange indicator will be added to this conical flask, which is containing 10 ml of the sample. From the 100 ml make up the volume up to 100 ml. From that you have taken the 10 ml of the sample, to that 10 ml of this 1N sulfuric acid, then 2.5 gram of the ammonium chloride, then you have to add the methyl orange reagent or indicator. Okay, so 2 to 3 drops enough. Then titrate the excess of sulfuric acid with that of the 1N NaOH. So it means that you have to take the 1N NaOH in the conical burette. Okay, so 1N NaOH in the burette. In conical flask 1.5 gram of zinc oxide, or the sample, the solid sample means, then you have to transfer that in a 100 ml volumetric flask. Okay, then make up the volume, then 0.5 gram of the NH4Cl plus 10 ml of the sulfuric acid. Okay, so like this, to that only indicator methyl orange you should add. Then you have to titrate this with 1N NaOH. Then you have to perform the back titration by tracing the 10 ml of, by you have to take here 10 ml of the 1N sulfuric acid, to that add 2.5 gram of NH4Cl ammonium chloride, then few drops of methyl orange indicator, and you have to titrate this against 1N NaOH. Okay, so here the IP factor will be, the each ml of 1N sulfuric acid is having or neutralizes 0.04069 gram of zinc oxide. Okay, so here finally you have to take 2 readings for the given sample, okay, and one reading like a blank, okay. So in that blank, no need to take the sample, so remaining everything you have to take. So in the procedure I explained, okay. Then what you have to do in this back titration method means, acidometry back titration method means, where the calculation of the amount of zinc oxide you have to calculate, is it? So how much amount of the zinc oxide is present in that given sample, is it? So here the burette reading will indicates that. In that the sample burette reading, you have to subtract the blank burette reading. So with the example you can notice here, okay. So what is that means, you can notice the thing here, the estimation of the zinc oxide. So before the calculation part, here the standardization of 1N NaOH, whatever the regular process you have to follow and you used to perform also. And this is the estimation of the zinc oxide, where you have to put a tabular column: initial burette reading, final burette reading, volume consumed indicator, and also the end point, okay. The sample 1, sample 2, for 2 times you have to perform the same thing with the indicator methyl orange, okay. So then the third will be the blank test, okay. So blank titration will be there. So in this, in the calculation part, you can notice that in bracket the burette reading. So the sample burette reading minus blank will give the burette reading. So here the sample burette reading average is 15.9 itself. Then the blank you may get approx the 10.9, okay. So the here, if the difference will be 5 ml, so that is the burette reading. So you have to substitute everything, you have to enter all the data in this formula: burette reading into exact normality into IP factor, whole divided by here the approximate normality, okay. So approximate normality, here the one will be there, the exact normality what you have taken and calculated in the standard, that is 0.84 normality, okay. Then the IP factor is the 0.0469, 0.0469. So here the IP factor nothing but the each ml of the 1 normality sulfuric acid is consumes or neutralizes 0.04069 gram of the zinc oxide. So enter all the data in the formula and calculate. Finally you will get the how much amount of the zinc oxide is present in the given urine sample, okay. So here you can mention the report. The amount of zinc oxide was found to be 0.1N0 gram, okay. So here you can also mention the actual normality of 1N NaOH was found to be 0.84 normality N, okay. So like this you can perform the estimation of the zinc oxide. So as I already told, so this is the last experiment in your PC1 chemistry.